The night starts like something out of a dream. Music floating in the air, neon reflections dancing across crystal clear water, laughter echoing through a private hillside mansion that feels completely cut off from reality. Cameras flash, drinks pour, and the energy is electric. The kind of party people talk about for years, and at the center of it all are three names that already carry their own gravity: Laufey, Alysa Liu, and Hudson Williams. No one really knows how this trio came together for a night like this. That's part of the intrigue. Laufey, known for her soft, almost haunting musical style, doesn't exactly scream wild pool party host. Alysa Liu, a disciplined athlete with a sharp competitive edge, feels like an even stranger fit for chaos. And Hudson Williams, he's the wild card. The kind of personality that thrives in unpredictability. Someone who doesn't just attend moments. He creates them. At first glance, everything feels perfect. The pool glows like liquid glass under shifting lights. A DJ stands behind a sleek console, nodding along to the rhythm, but no one recognizes him. That's strange. At a party like this, people usually know who's performing, but no one questions it, not yet. Guests arrive in waves, stepping out of black cars that vanish as quickly as they came. No drivers waiting, no security visible. Just an open path leading into the party like a one-way entrance into another world. Phones are already recording, capturing every second, and within minutes, clips begin circulating online. Comments flood in. Where is this? How did they get invited? This looks insane. But those watching from the outside don't see everything. They don't see the invitations. Each guest received the same black envelope. No sender, no explanation. Inside, just one card. Thick, expensive paper with a single word printed in sharp, elegant letters. Madwoman. Beneath it, a time and a location. Nothing else. Some people thought it was an exclusive brand event. Others assumed it was an art performance. A few felt something deeper, something off. But curiosity always wins, it always does. That's why they're all here now, standing by the pool, smiling, laughing, completely unaware of what they've stepped into. The music starts soft. Almost too soft for a party like this. Smooth, jazzy tones, like the kind that feels like it belongs in a quiet lounge, not a high-energy poolside scene. It wraps around the space like a calm before something else. Something heavier. Laufey stands near the edge of the water, her reflection rippling with every movement of the pool. She's smiling, talking, completely at ease. But every now and then, her expression fades for just a second. Her eyes drift, not to people, not to the cameras, but toward the far end of the property where the shadows are deeper, thicker, like they're hiding something. Alysa Liu moves differently. She doesn't stay in one place. She walks through the crowd slowly, deliberately, like she's mapping the space in her head. Her posture is relaxed, but her awareness is sharp. Someone tries to joke with her, splashing a bit of water in her direction, and she laughs. But it feels controlled, measured. Hudson Williams, on the other hand, is chaos in motion. He's everywhere. Laughing too loud, moving too fast, dragging people into conversations they didn't expect. One moment he's at the bar, pouring drinks for strangers. The next he's hyping up a group near the speakers. Then suddenly, without warning, he jumps straight into the pool, fully clothed, pulling two others in with him. The crowd erupts. This is what they came for. Energy, madness. A night that doesn't make sense. But behind that energy, there's something else, something subtle. Hudson isn't just partying, he's controlling the mood. Every time things slow down, he speeds them up again. Every time the noise dips, he brings it back, like he's trying to prevent something or delay it. Then it happens, a flicker. Just for a second, the lights cut out. Music stops, everything freezes. And in that brief silence, something feels wrong. Watch, then it's back. Lights return, music resumes, people laugh it off like nothing happened. Probably a generator glitch, someone shouts. A few people clap sarcastically, turning it into a joke. But not everyone laughs. Because a few guests notice something strange. The shadows look different now, longer, sharper. And the music, it's not the same track anymore. The rhythm is heavier. The bass is deeper, almost vibrating through the ground, making it hard to ignore. Conversations become louder, not because people want to shout, but because they have to. And then someone spots it. A small lens, tucked into the corner of a cabana. At first it looks like nothing, just part of the design. But when they point it out to someone else, they see another one. And another. Near the pool edge, above the bar, hidden along the railings, cameras. Not the obvious kind, not for security. These are placed carefully, intentionally, watching everything. A small group gathers, whispering, pointing, trying not to draw attention. One person jokes, maybe it's being filmed. Another laughs, reality show or something. But no one remembers signing anything. No waivers, no agreements. Just that black envelope with one word. Madwoman. The first real attempt to leave happens quietly. A guest walks toward the entrance path, acting casual like they just need some air, but as they reach the gate, they stop. They pull on it. It doesn't move. Locked. They try again, harder this time. Nothing. Now they're not smiling anymore. They call out to someone nearby, asking if there's another exit. A few more people start checking. Side paths, back entrances, all the same, locked. The realization spreads slowly at first. Like a rumor, then faster. Phones come out again. Not for posting, but for calling. Messaging. Trying to reach anyone outside. But there's no signal, no bars, no connection, completely dead. Now the mood shifts. The laughter fades. Conversations become tense. People gather in smaller groups, whispering, asking questions no one can answer. Hudson appears again, clapping loudly, shouting over the music, trying to keep the energy alive. "Come on, it's just part of the experience," he yells, forcing a grin. But people aren't buying it anymore, because this doesn't feel like a game. Laufey is still by the pool, but she's not talking now. She's watching. Her expression calm, almost too calm for what's happening around her. Alysa stands near the center, her eyes scanning the crowd, calculating, focused. And that's when it hits. They knew, not everything. Maybe not the full plan, but enough. A sudden sharp tone cuts through the air. Not music, not a glitch, something deliberate. The lights shift again, not flickering this time, but changing completely. The warm glow disappears, replaced by cold, white light that strips away the illusion of comfort. Every detail becomes clearer. Too clear. Faces look different now, more tense, more real. And then, a voice. It doesn't come from a speaker anyone can see. It doesn't echo, it doesn't distort. It's just there, everywhere. "Welcome." The crowd freezes. No one laughs this time. "Tonight," the voice continues, calm and controlled, "you are not guests." A pause. Long enough to let the words sink in. "You are participants." A ripple of fear moves through the crowd. Someone shouts, "What is this?" Another voice demands answers, but the voice doesn't respond to them. Instead, it continues. "You were chosen because of what you hide." Now the silence is heavier than any music. People glance at each other, confused, worried. "What you pretend not to be," the voice adds. A few people start backing away like distance will somehow make them safer. But there's nowhere to go. "Tonight," the voice says, "the truth surfaces." The pool lights flicker beneath the water, glowing brighter, almost unnatural now. And once it does, there is no going back. The music cuts completely. No background noise, no distraction, just silence. Thick, heavy, unavoidable. And in that silence, something shifts inside the crowd. Because this is no longer a party. This is something else. Something planned, something controlled. And something that's just beginning. And whatever happens next, none of them are ready for it. The silence doesn't just sit there, it presses in. No music, no laughter. Just the faint sound of water shifting in the pool and the uneven breathing of a crowd that suddenly realizes this night isn't what they thought it was. People look around, searching for something familiar, something safe. But nothing feels the same anymore. Then the voice returns. "Step closer to the pool." No one moves. For a second, it feels like maybe this is where it breaks. Maybe people refuse, maybe someone forces a way out, maybe this whole thing collapses under its own tension. But then, the lights flicker again. Not offline, but tighter. Focused, almost like spotlights, narrowing in on different sections of the crowd, and as they do, something else happens. And a low hum begins. It's not music, it's deeper, mechanical, like something powering up beneath the ground, and that's when people start moving. Slowly at first, reluctantly. One or two stepping forward, then others following, pulled by pressure more than choice. Within seconds, a large part of the crowd gathers around the glowing pool, eyes locked on the water that now looks different. It's brighter, not just lit, glowing from within, like there's something under the surface. The voice speaks again. You were invited because each of you carries a version of the truth that you've buried. A ripple moves through the water, not from wind, not from movement, from below. You built your image carefully, the voice continues. Online, in public, even with each other. A screen lights up. No one saw it before, but now it's there, rising from the far end of the pool area. Massive, sharp, impossible to ignore. And then it starts playing. At first, it's just clips, short ones. People at the party, laughing, posing, living their best lives. Social media posts, viral moments, perfect versions of themselves. The crowd shifts, confused. Some people even laugh nervously. Okay, so it is a show, someone whispers. But the laughter doesn't last, because the clips change. The tone shifts. Now it's different footage, private footage. Someone arguing in a car, someone crying alone in a bathroom, someone saying things they would never want anyone else to hear. A gasp cuts through the air. That's not... Someone starts, but they can't even finish. More clips, faster now. A secret meeting, a lie told on camera, followed by the truth off camera, a betrayal, a moment of weakness, a moment of anger, a moment of something real. The energy breaks, completely. People step back, panic rising, eyes wide, hearts racing. Turn it off, someone shouts, but it doesn't stop. Because this isn't random, this is targeted. The voice cuts back in, calm as ever. Perception is a performance. Another clip plays, this time longer. A guest at the party, smiling earlier, confident, loud. Now on screen, they're different, desperate, angry, saying things that strip away everything they showed the world. No, no, they whisper, backing away. People around them look, really look, in for the first time. And just like that, the illusion cracks. Because now, everyone's wondering the same thing. Am I next? The pool bubbles, not violently, but enough to draw attention. And then, something rises. A small object, floating, drifting toward the edge. Someone hesitates, then reaches down and picks it up. A phone, not theirs. Old, different. The screen lights up instantly. And there it is. A video, already playing. Their face, their voice. Something they said. Years ago, something they thought was gone. Their hands start shaking. They drop it. But it doesn't matter, because now more are appearing, one by one. Phones rising from the water like the pool itself is exposing secrets, offering them up piece by piece. The crowd starts breaking apart, people backing away from each other. No one touches anything, someone yells. Too late, because the voice speaks again. You've all consumed truth when it belonged to others. A pause. Now, you will face your own. The screens intensify. Multiple angles, multiple people, multiple secrets. The sound overlaps. Voices, arguments, confessions, lies, all crashing together into something overwhelming. And in the middle of it all, Hudson Williams is no longer smiling. He's standing still now, watching, not the screen, the people, like he's studying reactions, tracking fear, measuring chaos. Someone grabs him. You knew about this, they snap. He doesn't answer immediately. And that silence? It says enough, yeah. Across the pool, Alysa Liu steps forward slightly, her eyes fixed on the screen as it cycles through faces, moments, truths. There's tension in her posture now, not fear, but calculation. Like she's trying to understand the system behind all this. Because this isn't random, it's too precise. And near the water's edge, Laufey finally moves, slowly, deliberately. She steps closer to the pool, her reflection staring back at her through the glowing water. Then, a new clip appears. But this time, it's her. The entire crowd turns, the noise drops. Because now it's different. Now it's one of them. And whatever plays next is going to change everything. The footage starts simple, a studio session. Soft lighting, her voice, calm, controlled, beautiful. But then it cuts. Another angle, same day, different moment. Frustration, a sharp tone, words that don't match the image people know. The crowd watches in silence, not judging, not reacting, just seeing, really seeing. And that's when it becomes clear. This isn't about embarrassment. This isn't about exposure for entertainment. This is something deeper, something psychological, because it's not just showing secrets. It's forcing people to confront the gap between who they are and who they pretend to be. The voice returns, quieter now, almost closer. Every mask eventually breaks. The lights dim slightly, the screen slow. The chaos pauses just enough to let the weight settle. And in that moment, something shifts again. Because now the fear isn't just about being exposed, it's about what comes next. Because if this is step one, then what is step two? A sudden loud click echoes across the space. Everyone freezes. It came from the gates. Heads turn instantly. For a second, hope. Maybe they're opening. Maybe this is over. But then, another sound. Metal, locking, not unlocking. Sealing, tighter. And the voice speaks one more time. This was only the beginning. The pool light pulses once, twice, then steadies. And now, a pause. Longer than before. Colder than before. We begin the real test. And just like that, the screens go black, the lights drop lower, and somewhere in the distance, a door opens, slowly. Loud enough for everyone to hear, but far enough that no one can see what's inside. Yet, that sound of the door opening doesn't echo. It lingers. It cuts through the silence like something final, something deliberate. Everyone hears it. No one moves at first, because by now they've learned something the hard way. Every step forward in this place comes with a cost. The lights remain low, casting long shadows across the poolside. The glowing water is calmer now, but it doesn't feel safe. Not anymore. The phones that surfaced earlier float near the edges. Screens dark again, like they've already done their job. No music, no distractions, just tension. And then the voice returns. Softer this time, closer. Truth has been shown. A pause. Now, truth must be faced. No one speaks, no one argues. That phase is over because now they understand. This isn't about stopping it, it's about surviving it. A faint mechanical hum builds again, but this time it's coming from the direction of that open door. A narrow strip of light spills out from inside, cutting across the ground like a path. It's not inviting, it's demanding. A few people instinctively step back. Others lean forward, trying to see more. But the angle is wrong. Whatever's inside that room, it's hidden on purpose. Then, a sharp tone. Different from before? Shorter. Decisive. And suddenly a section of the ground near the pool shifts. A panel slides open with a heavy, grinding sound. People jump back in shock, some nearly slipping into the water. From beneath the surface level, something rises. A platform, metal, cold. On it, 3 objects, simple but terrifying in their simplicity. 3 black bands, wrist-sized. Minimal design, no buttons, no screens. Just smooth, matte surfaces that somehow feel heavier than they should. The voice explains. Choice defines consequence. A beat. Each of you will choose. Murmurs spread instantly. What is this? I'm not touching that. This is insane. But the voice cuts through again, louder now. You will choose. The bands glow faintly. Not bright, just enough to draw attention. To move forward, or to remain. Now the tension spikes. Because that's not really a choice. Not here, not anymore. A man near the front shakes his head, backing away. No, I'm done. I'm not playing this. He turns toward the gate again, yanking at it harder than before, desperation replacing logic. Nothing. It doesn't even budge. The voice doesn't react. It doesn't need to. Because everyone else sees it too. There is no leaving, only forward, or stuck. And staying doesn't feel safe either. Alysa Liu steps forward first, not rushed, not hesitant, calculated. She looks at the bands, studying them like a puzzle, like something that can be understood if she just thinks long enough. Her hand hovers over one, then she picks it up. The moment she touches it, a sharp click. It locks around her wrist instantly. No resistance, no chance to change her mind. The crowd gasps. She doesn't react outwardly, but her jaw tightens just slightly, then nothing. No shock, no visible effect. Just silence. The voice speaks. Accepted. A narrow beam of light appears, extending from the open door directly toward her. A path, clear, defined. Everyone sees it. And now, they understand. That door, it's not random. It's the next stage. And these bands, they're the key. Hudson Williams exhales sharply, running a hand through his hair before stepping forward next. But this time, he doesn't look like the same person from earlier. The loud, chaotic energy is gone. Now he looks tired, like whatever role he was playing is over. He grabs a band, it snaps onto his wrist, another click. Accepted. Now 2 beams of light, 2 paths. The room feels smaller, tighter, because every second that passes without choosing feels like a mistake. All eyes shift to Laufey. She stands still for a moment, staring at the remaining band. Then slowly, she steps forward. No hesitation now. She picks it up. The click echoes louder than the others. Accepted. 3 paths, 3 participants. But there are dozens of people here and only 3 bands. Panic hits instantly. What about us? There's not enough. This isn't fair, the voice answers, calm, unmoved. Not everyone moves forward. That's when it breaks, completely. People rush the platform, but the moment someone tries to grab where the bands were, the panel slams shut, gone, just like that. Now there's nothing left to choose. Only consequences. The 3 beams intensify slightly, guiding Alysa, Hudson, and Laufey toward the open door. The rest of the crowd stands frozen, realizing they've just been divided. Not randomly, but deliberately. The chosen, and the left behind. Alysa moves first, step by step along the narrow beam of light. Hudson follows. Then Laufey. The moment they cross the threshold, the light behind them cuts off. Instantly. Like they were never there. The door begins to close. Slowly. Too slowly, because the people left behind rush toward it. Wait! Don't close it! Please! But it doesn't stop. It doesn't hesitate. It shuts, with a final, heavy thud. And just like that, they're gone. The poolside falls into darkness for a split second. Then, the lights snap back on. Bright. Blinding. Everything looks normal again. Too normal. The music returns. Soft. Almost identical to how the night started. For a moment, no one moves. No one speaks. Because their minds are trying to catch up with what just happened. And then, the screens flicker back on. One final message appears. Simple. Cold. Unavoidable. Madwoman is not an event. A pause. The words shift. It is a mirror. Silence, then one last line. And you were not chosen. Because you were different. A longer pause. The kind that makes your chest tighten before you even understand why. You were chosen because you were the same. The screens go black. The music continues. The gates, slowly, unlock. No announcement, no sound. Just a quiet click. Someone tries it. This time, it opens. Fresh air rushes in. Freedom. Or at least the illusion of it. People begin leaving. Fast at first, then faster. No one looks back. No one talks. Because what do you even say after something like that? And as the last few step out into the night, the mansion behind them glows again. Beautiful, untouched, like nothing ever happened. But inside, somewhere beyond that closed door, 3 people are still there. And whatever the real test is, it hasn't even begun.